everyone. Welcome to the Biker Roadhouse tonight. Um, Figured tonight we talk about biker misconceptions or biker myths. There's a lot of them out there, and people do tend to believe these things. Um, but the truth is, most of us aren't like that. No. um, yeah, most of us aren't like that at all. So let's jump right into it. I had some, you know, sitting there looking through them on the internet, and you don't really come up with a whole bunch for some reason. I'll save some of the big one for last. One myth is helmets make riding more dangerous. Yes and no. Um, they say the proponents of a harmful helmet theory claim is that helmets cause more neck injuries uh, during crashes due to their weight. Hey, S&S, I can see that, yes and no. Where the helmet comes around your neck, I can see if your head's gets tilted in a way, I can see that would break your neck. But they're saying that's not true. That the helmet would take the shock and disperse, and your neck would be fine. Hey, Jamin, you know, but that's what they're saying, and they're saying that the helmet was gonna, you know, um, not cause a death in this instance. I've known people that if they wore a helmet when they crashed, they would have been dead. So it's kind of a judgment call on your part, you know. So that's yeah, and I forgot to hit the like button on my own on my own show. But yeah, helmets, like them or leave them. Um, I wear a helmet. I got a full face. I got a half one. Um, I see more with my half shell than I do my full face. It's because the half shell only comes so far up, and I can turn my head, whereas the full comes down here, and I can't turn my head that much. Leather is just a fashion statement. Yeah, I hop on a motorcycle wearing my leather just to look good. You know, um, modulars. I've never had a modular. Um, one thing I like about them is you can take that bottom piece, flip it up, and have it as you're flying down the road. Take a drink of your water or something. No beer. um, but that, you know, um, yeah, seatbelts are the same way. You wear them or you don't. Now you're forced to wear them because if you don't, you're going to get a ticket if you get pulled over. Great thing is they can't pull you over just for the seatbelt. No, that's the secondary. They got to pull you over for something else. You know, but yeah, leather is just a fashion statement. Like I said, I wear my leather on my motorcycle so I look good. No, I wear my leather so that if I go down, like SNS is saying, it saved him from a lot of road rash. That's what leather really does is minimizes your injuries, um, your road rash, where chaps. Oh yeah, they get so hot when I'm riding, so I take them off and I don't have to wear them. You know, most of the time, I do wear my chaps. Most of the time, if you go down, they're thin, so if you go down, they're going to shred. But I'd rather have them shred than my pants. You know, my chaps first, then my pants, and then my skin. As for my jacket and my vest, I'd rather have my jacket and vest take the blunt of all that because that I can replace very easy. I can replace that easy. Skin that takes a while to grow back and it's painful. You run the risk of gravel and dirt and all that in your wounds, and you got to go to the emergency room or something right after your accident, and they clean it out, and it's painful. They don't numb you. No. Hi, shocker. Hi, sis. So it hurts. So I'd rather wear my leather, wear a helmet. Sadly, when it's 90 degrees out, I don't wear my leather. No. I'd rather stay cool than sweat my balls off. Now, this one I do believe works, but they say they don't. Is loud pipes save lives? Um, I believe they do. I've had quite a few instances where flying down the road and a car doesn't move over because they hear me. And I've seen it the other way to where the car doesn't hear me. You know, I'm a firm believer of loud pipes save lives. They say the louder you are, the more people will hear you coming out. Will hear you coming, and the safer you'll be on the road. Not exactly. Once again, the deafening noise and safety remain at odds. Your modified pipes might be making more noise, but they're sending it backwards, which is true. It sends out the back, which will have little effect on the merging just ahead of you. So there you go. They're basically saying the sound's behind you. People aren't going to hear it. Sorry, I've been in front of a motorcycle in a car, and I hear it just fine. I don't like the damn sport bike people come flying by you with that high noise in that engine because it scares the shit out of you, and you move and you almost take them out. I mean, come on. Sport bike riders, they're not too smart. Quite a bit of them are not too smart. But I think loud pipes do save lives. I've had people tell me they heard me coming for 7 blocks away, but they're standing outside, not in a car. Um, you definitely shouldn't buy your dream bike first because you're learning, especially if you're new and you're learning how to ride. Um, More likely you're going to crash than anything, and you're going to screw that bike up. That is true. That is true. Um, you know, but it is what it is. Like I said, I believe that they do save lives. I've seen it both ways. Coming up on both ways. So it's one of them. Take it as you will, or it's what you believe type things, like a helmet. On the side and behind is different. That is true. Now I've gotten beside people, seen they're on the phone and hit that engine, and they drop that phone. The kind of thing twice. One guy even tried to chase me down, didn't work. It's the wind that deafens the rider, not the pipes. Right? That is true as well. So your aunt made you get the pipes. She said, yeah. Um, if people are outside and aren't in their cars, they can hear you. If I'm pulling out of my driveway, I can hear a motorcycle. But then again, I look both ways coming out of my driveway. But I can hear it. I can hear it. More touring and cruiser bikes than I do sport bikes. I generally don't hear the sport bikes till they're almost right on top of the house. And then I go, oh, sport bike. You know, surprised the cops don't come and get these guys for making too much noise here as they're going by the house. It's ridiculous with the sport bikes around here. Um, this one's going to be funny, y'all. Having a bell on your bike will ward off road gremlins. This is what you believe. You know, um, this one is actually a superstitious than a myth because what's the bell really do for your bike? Nothing. Just makes it look better until it starts hitting the pavement and starts getting ground up and all that dirt. Then, you know, that doesn't look too good. Um, but I believe they do. I've got one hanging from my rearview mirror in my Kia, and I've got one on either side of my bike. My wife had one on hers. She went down and they totaled her bike, although it could have been saved, but it was more to repair and repaint the bike than it would to total it out. So they totaled it out. Um, I've seen in my car a lot of times things that should have totally broken on my car didn't break. And I get it to the shop to go, how in the hell did this? I got a bell in my car. It's been bringing me luck. My wife gave it to me. Um, one bell I bought on my bike. The other one the wife bought for me and gave it to me. So I'm a firm believer that the bells work. And again, it's what you believe. If you believe in the bell's going to work. If you don't believe in the bell's not going to work. It's going to be all in your head, and you're just going to go, well, okay. You know, it's going to be one of them, okay. Um, coincidence type deals. I did this, I did that, you know. I have had a belt that was handmade out of wood for me on the ditch side of the butt of the trike, and a cross made out of horseshoe nails on the left side. Has it done its work? Has it kept you safe? You know, has it stopped your stuff from breaking down? You know, that's what I look at. My bells have kept me safe. I don't break down. You know, I do believe there's something out there watching over me as I ride. You know, um, I did invite some of my A-bait family in here to watch, so I hope they're here. Um, trying to do this isn't, you know, it's hard because you look for biker misconception or biker myths on the web and you can't find it. It's all in your head. Um, I think I just seen this one. Yeah, you know, I found one here: top 10 myths of motorcycle riders. Now you're going to like this one. I was looking at this one a little earlier. All bikers are criminals. Guilty as charged. Lock me up and throw away the key. I'm a criminal because I ride a motorcycle. That is not true. The reality is, although we cannot deny the fact that some biker, they say gangs, biker groups, I'll say biker groups, in the western part of the world are a threat to law and order, the same cannot be said about bikers that respect the law of the land. Biker groups are not always involved in criminal activities, especially in India. We hardly come across new reports about rivals or shootouts among bikers. Actually, pretty recently, I've been hearing a lot about that. But again, not all bikers are criminals. That's true. Most come from the word of mouth being passed down. Average person commits 7 felonies a day and does it. Well, I guess I'm not average because I don't commit 7 felonies a day. I wouldn't even know what would do to commit a felony. All I do is mostly drive back and forth to work during the week, sit in my chair, play on my phone, watch TV, love up on the wife, and then come the weekend, just be lazy. That's pretty much what I do, or ride the bike. So when I was younger, I under 18, I did commit a couple felonies, but because I was a juvenile, I wasn't convicted. They talked them down to misdemeanors, so I got pretty lucky. Yeah, way too many stupid laws. That's going to be a show on my other channel. I'm going to find some weird and obscure laws still in the books for each state. I know some other people have done it. Um, and I think it's going to be fun for me to do, put a little my own little twist on things, you know. But yeah, we're not all criminals. No, quite a few of us are pretty pretty tame, pretty law abiding. Like I said, it's only that 1%. There you go, guys. 1% that break the law and do those types of things. 1%. And actually, it's even 1% of the 1% that break the law. Because not all 1%ers do break the law. Am I correct? Driving a car with a girl in the car who doesn't have shoes. In Illinois. Now, that is one weird law. I know here you can't drive, you're not supposed to be driving your car without shoes. I do know that, but that's not a felony here. Stupid laws make everyone a criminal. That's why the stupid laws are there, so they have something to. Well, I got something to stick on them. Bikers perform illegal stunts. Most one percenters don't break the law besides maybe speed. Like I said, the 1% of the one percenters break the law. So it is that just saying, not all one percenters are bad. Not all of them are bad. We all speed, so we all break the law, but that's not a felony. That's a ticket, a very, very expensive ticket. Um, I haven't even been pulled over on my bike. I've been profiled. Well, not on the bike, but close, but I've never been pulled over on the bike. Bikers perform illegal stunts. Well, define illegal. You know, the reality is motorbike riders are adventurous people. They are. However, they fear for their lives just as much as non-bikers do, or as I like to call them, squuggles. So I can't call them muggles, so I call them squuggles. Bikers are hardcore travelers who love to explore various regions. That is true. They love to ride through different terrains and roads. That's for sure. For example, riding through whatever word that is can be termed as dangerously adventurous as those are not illegal stunts. But no, define illegal stunt. I mean, are you looking at people popping wheelies down the highway when traffic, or when other cars are around, threatening the safety of other people if they go down, plus their own? Um, then yeah, I would say that would be illegal. Um, because of you popping a wheelie going down the road, especially on a highway and stuff like that. Yeah, a cop is going to try to pull you over. Easy. If you're in a parking lot and pulling this stuff and there's no one around and it's empty, most likely a cop is going to either come up, talk to you, ask you to leave because you're technically are on private property, or they're just going to leave you alone because you're you're not causing anybody any harm. The only harm you're going to cause yourself is you. That includes burnouts, this, that, all kinds of. But then again, it's safety. Your safety, others. Um, if you do it in a safe place, or I should say, if you do it in a place that's not going to cause harm to anybody, or anybody, you're not going to put anybody in harm. More power to you. When I see you doing wheelies down the road and there's cars around, I'm going to call you stupid. Plain and simple. You got pulled over in Dallas for doing a wheelie down the road in the middle of the night with nobody on the road. Again, they're going to pull you over for that, um, because it's Dallas. It's a city. They're going to pull you over for that. You're pretty much going to have to go to out in the country, a parking lot somewhere, and just do it. And hopefully they don't bug you. Unfortunately, you just got caught. Cop was around and you got caught. Unfortunately, and it sucks. Trust me, I know it sucks. You told the cop. you know, if I was a cop and you told me that, I would have said, "All right, I can't argue that. Go." I would let you go for that one. Um, I saw that and got it right away. So that cop must be slow. But then again, it is Texas, so their learning curve is a little different down there. Um, let's see what we got here. All right, bikers are rude. Now, do you buy that one? A lot of people think bikers are rude. Why is that? Why would they think bikers are rude? Could it be from what the stuff they hear on the news? You know, um, actually, that'd just mean more murderers or criminals and stuff like that. But Have they encountered someone that a biker and they didn't get treated right, or maybe that biker was in a bad mood or had a bad day or something just crossed him wrong. But the reality is, bikers aren't rude. Most bikers are not rude. I gotta say most. There are some that are. But if you treat the person the right way, they're not going to be rude. They're not going to be mean. They're not going to flip you off or tell you they're going to kick their ass or anything like that. You know, they think that because of the way we talk to each other. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Um, we can, but most of the time we are the most loving, caring, helpful people. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Um, Look behind me. Some of the most loving, caring people right here. American Legion riders. I could have moved this out of my way tonight, but it's a biker channel. Um, American Legion riders, some of the best people you're going to see around, caring for people and not just veterans. No. Um, Kids, all kinds of people they care for. They raise money for veterans, but they care and they will ride for anything, for anybody. Um, you know, um, I've seen clubs do it. I've seen other organizations do this. So, are bikers rude? No. Can they? Yes. Um, what they're saying is that heavy traveling takes a toll on health, which is true. The same happens with the biker. If you've interacted with a biker and found them to be rude, they simply might be tired from a long day's journey. In fact, being avid travelers, some bikers love making friends and knowing as much information about places and people as they could. Exactly. If someone's encountered one, were they riding all day? If I've been riding all day, I'm going to get a little grouchy. I've been on a bike, fighting the wind, fighting idiots out there. So, yeah, um, I will say bikers are not rude um, under the circumstances. I mean, like I said, we flashed a finger. Yeah, you're number one. You're number one. Um, I like to say I'm number one, but I know I'm not. My wife is number one in this house. We give each other a lot of shit, but that's because we're friends. Yes. Um, people tell you if I quit giving you shit, something's wrong. Right. I give you shit because I like you. And then there's those people that I'm going to give them shit because they deserve to have that shit in a criticizing way. I know a few people um, in the other organization I'm in, and yeah, I don't think too highly of one person in their position, so to speak. But I love the people in my other organization. It's just, you know, we'll just leave it at that. um, to a normal outside the group, they get the wrong idea. Exactly. Um, you're going to see if Rick you and I ever get together, we're going to joke around, we're going to give each other shit, you know, we're going to flip each other off, we'll call each other names. And if we're out in public in a parking lot or a gas station, we're doing that, someone's going to get the wrong idea and say, "Hey, they hate each other." No, this is our way of saying, "Hey, how you doing?" You know, I would say terms of endearment, but that's going a little too far. That's our basically our way of saying, "Hi, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. Fuck off." you know. Um, Now this one isn't a myth per se, because a lot of bikers do have a lot of tattoos. So I don't know why this would be a myth. Um, I have a lot of tattoos. If you count about, I think 8 or 9. If you count that a lot, yes. Um, then I got a lot of tattoos. I've seen numerous bikers covered, arms covered, everything. So I don't think that one's a myth. I think that one is actually true. Bikers do have a lot of tattoos, but you do have a lot of bikers who don't have tattoos as well. Um, it's just like meeting someone from another branch of military. We give each other shit and call each other names, and we still love each other. Exactly. And another thing that we do is we get pissed at each other, have it out. Next thing you know, we're sitting there talking to each other and carrying on and still friends. You know, it is what it is. People don't know us. People don't know how us people who ride are, basically. You don't have any. Where you grew up, tats are known as identifying marks. And there still are. I mean, if I get pulled over and get booked, they're going to look at every single tattoo that they can see. As a matter of fact, the first time I went to jail, I had an Indian maiden on this arm, and that was my only one I had. So they wrote that down and asked me what it was. My first reply was, "What, don't you know what it is?" And they looked at me and goes, "No, we need you to tell us so we can write it down for you per your description." So I had to tell them it was an Indian maiden. Um, but yeah, if they see the tattoos, they're going to record every single one. They might have you take off your shirts and stuff, um, just so that they could get every mark on you. You know, but I like tattoos. I miss the days when you take it out to the parking lot, then turn around and buy each other a drink. Exactly. You know, um, I've gotten into quite a few fights like that, and then you're done. You get up. You know, um, back in my day, I didn't. I was under 21, so we just got up and went, talked and walked around a little bit, had a pop, or um, sat and bullshitted. You know, just because you get in a fight with someone doesn't mean you have to stop being friends with that someone. You know, um, this kind of goes on the one big one that I'm saving till later. Um, Bikers roam around in gangs. I'm going to call that one a myth. It's definitely a myth because they're not gangs. No, and it kind of ties into the other one I'll be talking about. Um, and but no, they don't roam around in gangs. They roam around in a group or um, a club. But if you define a gang as two or more people, then that would be a gang. But that would also be a gathering as well. Bikers have expensive bikes. How is that a myth? Um, have you seen the bikes out there lately? And people are buying them. They are expensive. 40,000 for a brand new bike. And that's just Harley, y'all. I said the reality bikers treat their bikes as their babies. This baby does not have to be an expensive one, though it could be a dream of a biker to buy a Harley. Yay, a Harley. I'm thrilled. All of them do not own expensive bikes from day one. And that is true. If you want to travel on a bike, you can set out on your own, Baja, Paha, whatever, or Hero Passion as well. It's not necessary to own a cruiser or to be a fierce biker. Eventually, you're going to get rid of those sport bikes and you're going to pony up to the more expensive bikes. Mine used was 7 grand. Not cheap. Just finished paying it off a couple months ago. I'm still waiting for the paperwork on it um, for the title release. So saying that I don't owe anybody any. There's not a loan agency on my title anymore. So I'm waiting for that. If I don't get it soon, I'm going to be calling up the bank and saying, "Hey, I finished paying off my bike. Where are the papers?" Um, but yeah, bikers do have expensive bikes. If you don't have one now, eventually you will. Eventually. Bikers swear all the goddamn motherfucking time, piece of fucking shit. No, they don't. They do swear, but not all the time, every other word or every word. You know, $20 is $20. Bike parks ain't cheap. Right? Right? If a woman comes up and says, I'll give you $20 to do this to me, $20 is $20. If a guy comes up and says, I'll give you $20 to do this to me, sorry, dude, I don't swing that way. Take your $20, but I know this person does. you know. Um, but yeah, $20 is $20. And you hear a lot of people say they'll do anything for $20. In reality, they don't. They won't. Yeah, it costs just as much as a pickup. Brand new Chevy Tahoe is what, 80 grand. Um, a Jeep Wagoneer is 80 to 100 grand. So it's actually cheaper to buy a motorcycle, ride around for 6, 7 months out of a year than it is to buy something like that. That's going to cost you more in gas because they're V8 engines and they do guzzle. They're not as fuel efficient as a motorcycle. Bikers don't have a day job. Now that's a huge myth because I've got a day job. As a matter of fact, my day job is from 5:30 to 2, sitting on my ass in front of a computer checking samples all day, aluminum samples. When you was on your 77 Honda 750, new Goldwing was 10,000. Now they're 40. Yeah, I remember my dad, the last Goldwing he bought, I think was in 86, and he sold that not a few years ago. But the one I remember mostly was in 82. 82 Goldwing. And I remember my dad going in with one of his club buddies, and that bike cost right around 10,000. I remember that. I remember that. Why? Because the accessories he bought that they didn't put on when they were supposed to cost the same as the bike, which was 10 grand. So, and then my dad got pissed, started yelling, and his club brother and we went out in front of the dealer and sat there. One of the salesmen came out and said he was pretty pissed. Goes, that's nothing. Wait till he picks up the bike and throws it halfway across the room. He goes, he'll do that. He goes, piss him off enough, and he's almost there. That sales guy got up, walked in, and said, give him anything he wants. And my dad walked out with anything he wanted. Um, but yeah, we do have day jobs. Some of us, I will admit, can't work because of health reasons. Not your problem, not your fault. It is what it is. You have an '84 Aspencade sitting in the garage for sale if you know anyone who's interested. An Aspencade. Oh, damn, that's an old bike. I remember when they came out. They were beautiful. Biker girls are manly. Most biker girls will kick your ass. That's for sure. The reality is, to handle a bike weighing more than 100 kilograms needs strength. Biker girls are strong enough to look after their bikes and repair them if required. The strength cannot be deemed as manly. They are as feminine as any other woman you happen to know, and that is the truth. Yep. I remember my dad having the Goldwing, and then the Aspencades came out a little bit later. Um, I thought the Goldwing was better than the Aspencade, but the Aspencades were pretty nice. They were very, very nice. Well, I could say they're more manly than some men. Uh, yeah. um, I can say they're more manly than some of the men, the guys, bikers that I know. That's for sure. Um, my dad always had the interstate. He had the interstate. You can be both girly and manly. I believe it. We've talked. You're my sister. Yes, I believe it. Um, yeah, any woman who admits that they're both girly and manly, believe it because we, yeah, I don't need my ass kicked tonight. um, by a woman, no less. And I have had my ass kicked by a woman. Well, actually, a girl. I was under the age of 10 and got my ass kicked. Yeah, I'll admit it. I enjoyed it. I let her. All right, here's a big myth. Bikers only listen to heavy metal music. That is a bunch of crap. Why? Because I've been to Sturgis, I've been down Main Street Sturgis, and they play all this hip hop. I beat your face in. I beat my woman because she looked at this man. Yeah, fuck that music. Garbage music, I call it. But no, not all listen to heavy metal. Actually, quite a few people I know who do ride listen to country. Um, and how they still have their bikes, I don't know. They listen to country. You lose everything when in a country song. You know, you think it's true. Most real bikers don't get attached to frilly women. Now, I do like. I have seen real bikers get have frilly women. I have, but they're also kind of ditzy. You know, um, but I like women who've got meat on their bones, who have a brain. I love skinny women too. They're wonderful. They're awesome. They've got brains. You know, um, but yeah, it's the one with the attitude with that you have to look out for. And they're not frilly. They will tell you what they absolutely think and what they're going to do, and you ain't got no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just listen, take it, and shut up because that's what they're going to tell you to do. So here's what these people got to say. They said the bottom line: being a biker is super cool, but for that you need to take care of your bike and like a body part. Taking care of your bike does not always mean keeping it clean or well maintained. It also means that you financially secure yourself with bike insurance, right? So that you can ride your bike for a very long time without waiting for funds to get it repaired. So that's what these people have to say. And I do have to agree with most of what they said. Um, and then there's the 10 myths about motorcycles people still believe. You know, helmets don't help, they blur vision. Actually, they don't blur vision. They kind of they don't block your peripheral view either. You can see, you just got to turn your head a little bit more. Um, Younger riders are more reckless and prone to accidents. I have to believe that is true because the crash reports that I have seen in my 1 year in ABATE is the age groups between 20 year olds, people in their 20s and 30s. Um, so yeah, I do think that is true and not a myth. It is safer to lay down your bike in case of a crash. Actually, if you have to lay down your bike, and I've read this from numerous sources, is because you weren't paying attention. Oh, this I'll just read what they say. The idea of lay it down refers to the situation where the rider deliberately lays his bike to one side. Sometimes it might be so extreme that the bike nearly touches the tarmac on the side of his body. The misconception here is that in case of an accident, the rider can avoid crashing. This is absolutely untrue. Although this technique has been passed over in riding classes and police rider training, it is outdated. When an accident occurs, you barely have time to lay it down, and if you do, then you ought to have enough time to rescue yourself. The manual observes that by laying it down, you're laying down your bike on its side, it becomes harder to stop, and only doing so when it hits something. So basically, what they're saying is you're not paying attention if you got to lay it down. I've seen people not paying attention and hit the back end of a car, a stopped car. You know, Um, but yeah, if you got to lay your bike down, you probably weren't paying enough attention or you didn't give yourself enough room to react. Okay, okay, Evil Rick, I won't ask you how you know. um, Motorcycles are for huge, strong folks. No, I know some women who can pick up a bike, not a big touring or cruiser bike, but they can pick up a bike, and it's usually the bike that they've been riding that they can pick, like I said, so they can pick it up. I mean, 650 or 700 is a lot lighter than a 1700. You know, easier to pick up, and if you do it the right way, they can pick up a 1700 engine size bike. Should never ride while it's raining. That's a myth. You can ride while it's raining. You just want to wait like a half hour or so after when it starts, because then that's when all the oil basically washes off the road. You slid into the back of a car in Little Rock, but the road was black ice. Yeah. Um, so black ice, Little Rock tells me it was colder than 32 degrees because the exhaust on your bike when it hit the ground froze, and it's black ice. So basically, not your fault, but you know, it is what it is. You're alive. You're safe. You know, you're not dead. That's the important part. And you didn't drop. Now that's talent. Um, you didn't drop your bike. All right. The wife has sent me a couple because she did help me out on this. Top 5 myths about motorcycle riders. We already covered motorcycles are reckless, and they're not. Only certain types of people ride motorcycles. Yes, only certain types of people ride motorcycles. Like hippies. This hippie does. Um, the common stereotype biker, you see the head wrap, black t shirt, cut off sleeves, black pants, black boots, beard, missing teeth all over. They talk like they've been sucking on fumes all day. Yeah, only a certain type of people. Well, I believe you rode hundreds of miles in rain. I'm one of them who, if it's I get caught in the rain, yes, I will ride in the rain. Otherwise, I won't. I'm I'd say I paid my dues on that, and I don't like it. Ice and snow suck. I live in Minnesota. No, I won't do it. My driveway is covered in ice and snow, um, especially after I snow blow it. I do leave a little bit of snow on the ground in my driveway for traction and not scraping it all the way down to pick up rocks because my driveway is not paved. So it is what it is. This is the first winter I've been at the house to where I rode my bike every single month except December. It was just too cold for me. I didn't even think about it. So I know I ain't gonna experience a winter like this again. Crazy fuckers who hang a can of gas over a hot motor and ride the darn thing down the road. Exactly. Those are the type of people that ride motorcycles, which is a bunch of bull kapaki because it's called a stereotype. I see young kids ride sport bikes all the time, um, yuppies on Harleys. Yeah, I said it, yuppies. Because Harleys aren't just for the working man anymore. They're for the big office executives who make all kinds of money, and they sit there, ride their motorcycles in shorts and flip flops, and then wonder why, when their bike goes down, they get all this road rash. They, you can't fix stupid. You just can't. So no, not that is a myth. All types of people ride motorcycles. All motorcycles are thrill seekers. Huge myth. I am not a thrill seeker. I am happy cruising down the road on my Kawasaki, enjoying it. I do not have any temptation to pop a wheelie, do donuts, burnouts. I have no desire to do any of that. Absolutely none. Yep. Crazy fuck who's hanging. Yep, I already did that one. So yeah, that is a myth. Myth number 4: motorcycle riders are aggressive on the road. They can be. I have seen a lot of sport bike riders. Yes, they can be. But in reality, they ride defensively and only ride aggressively when we have to. There's a difference. Have to. So, yeah, that is a myth. A lot of people I know ride safely. They do. Motorcyclists are loners and antisocial. Um, boy, I'm one hell of a loner and antisocial person. So are you, Rick, Shocker, S&S. I, they got us there. That's another one full of caca, full of shit. Um, they're not loners and they're not antisocial. They're very social. They will go up and talk to anybody. You just can't talk about business, organization, whether it's organization or club. You just can't talk about that to other people. I can't talk. Person in a club can't talk to me about club business, but they can know my organization business. But why am I going to tell them that? That's none of their business. So some people say you have a bad attitude. Hey, let them think that you have a bad attitude. You are who you are. You've been around. You don't give a fuck anymore. So yeah, fuck them. Depends on what. I can understand that one. I really really can. um, I guess that's all of us because you know if we're in that mood, we're not gonna be social, and we're not gonna be. We're just want to be loners, you know. Another one: motorcycles are meant for short distances. Depends on the bike. If you've got a sporty or bobber maybe, You're not going to go 1,200 miles. I've seen people do it, but in reality, most people won't. But they're not meant for or short distances. Most people travel at a good speed, a good distance. Only young males ride motorcycles. That's a bunch of shit. I love women on motorcycles, especially getting behind them because you get the look of that nice ass body. Yeah, I I'm just gonna shut up on that. um, some guy rode 150 across. No, I know it can be done. You said it's been done. I think that guy wasn't all there to do that on 150, but more power to him. He did it. I would have him sign a book or something, get a picture taken with him, because that is one of the craziest motherfuckers I've ever seen to do that. You wouldn't recommend it, but it can be done. Yes. Crazy biker chick. She's done it. And I ain't gonna. So, yeah, it can be done. Gear is for looks only. Damn, I look good in leather. I ain't gonna go wear it on my bike because it's gonna get dirty. Bull cocky. Bikers are all gang members. I've covered that one. We know they're not. Bikers are reckless daredevils. We know they're not. Bikes are noisy. Yes, because we make them noisy. So, yes, bikes are noisy. So, we're coming up. We're just over an hour. The biggest one, the biggest myth of them all, I probably didn't mention some because I don't have, some of them I couldn't get into, but anyone want to take a wild guess on what the biggest myth of them all are? You rode a 450 CB from Cahokia to Atlanta, Texas. Almost 800 each way. It took me 2 days each way. More power to you. Um, Probably something I wouldn't do. More power to you that you did it. I know someone who wants to ride more of a dirt bike, a little mini bike, down to Nevada and back. I think he's nuts. It's one of my brothers. I think he's nuts, but he wants to do it. More power to him if he wants to go do it. More power to him. Because to me, that is living. That is living. You are doing something you love. You enjoying the fuck out of it. You are living. He was young and dumb. Wouldn't do it again. Well, my brother that's going to do it, he's 55, and he's going to do it. Yeah. But the biggest myth of them all is clubs are not gangs. I said that wrong. Clubs are gangs. That is the biggest myth of them all. Clubs are not gangs. Now, I'm saying this kind of a little hesitant and a little, hey, is because the majority of the clubs are not gangs. The majority of them are not. If you agree with me, great. If you don't, that's fine. The ones who do act like gangs, because they keep doing gang stuff. And need to quit doing gang stuff. You know, clubs don't go around shooting people up or firing their guns here and there or terrorizing neighborhoods, have turf wars. But I know some clubs that do. And if you're acting like a gang, walking like a gang, sounding like a gang, guess what? You're a gang. I will be the first one to say clubs are not gangs until you show me that what you're doing, you know, probably ain't saying that right. I do say clubs are not gangs because most of the clubs are not gangs. Then you get to the, how do I say, the outlaw type. Yeah, there's where your gang comes in, and I can see why news reporters and law officials and stuff say gang. I see it, and you do see it, you do hear it. It's in the report, news reports. It's all over. This club is fighting this club, or this club went down here to pay that club a visit, and a shootout happened. It's a gang, just on two wheels. It is what it is. You know, they have time to change their ways. From what I've been seeing, they are changing their ways. So for those that do change, they are not gangs. The ones that don't are gangs. You guys agree with me, or am I just throwing this out there and blowing smoke up my ass or something? Um, because that's how I see it. If you don't want to be called a gang, quit doing gang stuff. Um, it's also one reason why I'm not in a club, because you're in a club, you get targeted, you get profiled. I'm in an organization, and I don't get profiled or pulled over like some people do. Um, you hung around a 1% outlaw club in Wichita for a couple years. They were rowdy, but you still say a club. You know, yeah, I mean, are all 1%ers that way? No. I'll say no, they're not. They can get rowdy, and still act like a club, but it's those 1% of the 1% of the 1% that go out and act on their own or take an order from someone, and that you know so there's that. But that puts the rest of them in that situation because they condone what the few did. you know so it is what it is. There's going to be people calling the 1% clubs gangs. There's going to be people that say they're not gangs. Y'all see some of my point of view on it. I'm not calling every club a gang. Most are not, not all 1%ers are. But that is a myth. Motorcycle clubs are gangs. That is a myth. Clubs are not gangs unless they do gang stuff. But yes, we will have to agree to disagree. Um, Like I said, I'm not going to call every club a gang. A few, yes, I will call a few. There on a handful. One hand, I can call 5 clubs gangs. So, yeah, and I'm not, that, and that's great. Evil Rick, you know, um, not all in the club are bad. There's a few bad apples that ruin it for everybody in the club. And yes, they are cracking down on those people because they want to get rid of the gang image or the gang name because they're a club and they want to operate as a club. As a matter of fact, most of the one percenters will raise money for charity. They will help out their local community. They will do a lot of things. And like I said, the truth is there's an image from the past that they're trying to get rid of. Am I correct? Um, you know, and it's going to be hard, and it's been hard. But as long as they keep doing the shit they're doing, it's not going to go away. It's just not. Um, and then again, that's the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. So that is my show tonight, guys. Um, gee, I just thought of something else, but now I can't remember it. It popped in my head and went out because there's nothing up there. um, it is what it is, basically. Um, most of it we have debunked as a myth. Some of it was true. The last one, it's a matter of your own opinion. You know, um, believe it or not. You know, that's a great thing about this. And grown men, we can have different opinions and still respect each other and have a conversation. Exactly, exactly. You know, you say they're not gang, they're clubs, not gangs. I say most of them are clubs and some are. It's a matter of opinion. Everyone has them, just like an asshole. Everyone's got one. You know, um, but it is. It's a matter of opinion. You have yours. I have mine. I respect yours. You respect mine. Um, and it is what it is. I'm not going to force my views on you. You're not going to force your views on me. We will discuss it. And and if I change my mind, I change my mind. But that's me. I love talking to you guys. I love the conversations because how can I grow or you grow if we don't have these conversations and just talk? You know, it is what it is, as I say. Old timers. My dad's an old timer, 75. He's been riding since before I was born. I'm 54. My dad's been riding for over 55 years, guys. He's had a Sportster, a big fat hog. And I remember the tank on that sucker was huge compared to the ones today on Harleys. This fucking thing was huge for a tank. Um, I can't remember what he had before the Sportster, but the Sportster was a gold one. He had the hog, then he's had 2 Gold Wings, and now he's on a trike, which was a 2000 Honda Valkyrie Interstate, which is one of the best ones out there for Honda. unlike most Karens, right? um, yes, and I mean this. I'd be exaggerating if I said this sucker holds 10 gallons. 6 to 7, yes. 10, no. But that sucker is almost wider than me from side to side. I could remember it wrong because I was a kid and I saw that sucker. And that sucker was huge, you know. Um, but it was a huge tank, better than what Harley's got now. You got your first street bike when you was 15 and you're 70. You know, look how long you've been riding. Look at the knowledge you have, and you can pass down to someone. You know, you're an OG, Evil. My dad's an OG. I'm getting to be one. S&S, I don't know how old you are, so either you're about to be an old timer, an OG, or you are one. Either way, the knowledge we have can get passed down to the younger generation, and hopefully they'll learn the stories, everything, all that can be um, passed down. I love, the Valkyrie Interstate is a very beautiful bike. My dad bought it as they put the Roadsmith bike kit on it, so he bought it that way, so it doesn't have the rear tire on the bike itself. It's a very beautiful bike, 6 gallon tank. He goes for about almost 200 over 200 miles on a tank. Yes, they are still think that today, but they are as white as me. Yeah, I mean the tanks on Harleys now are, yeah, but the ones back in the day, they earned the name Hog. They earned it. Um, 15 by birthday, but 60 by years. Oh, you were born on a leap year. That's why. Okay. Um, so yeah, we're getting to be old timers. We are. As a matter of fact, we got a club here in Minnesota called the Old Timers. I don't know if they're national, or coast to coast, but I do know they're here. I haven't gone and looked them up to see what other clubs, what other states they hold the club in. I just have no ambition to. Mine has a California sidecar trike kit, 3 wheels. I think I've seen your trike um, when I went to your page. I think I've seen that your trike. It looks pretty sweet. It really does. So I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Um, it is what it is. The I caught it. I caught it. Not too many people I know are born on leap year, but I caught it. Um, I say you're 60. You you know, but yeah, I say you're 60, not 15. Age is a number. It's what's in here that counts. But myths, we debunked quite a few of them. We've proven a lot of them are myths. Some of them are true. Motorcycles are not. Motorcycle clubs are not gangs. To me, most of them are not gangs. Few are. But that's my opinion. You have yours. It is what it is. Um, so don't go around believing what people tell you. We're angry, we're rude, um, you breathe on me wrong, and I'm going to kick your ass. That's a bunch of bullshit. We're people that want to meet people and go out and talk because we want to share our love and passion for motorcycles. We want to share that love and life with everybody and that knowledge, whether you ride or not. We're people just like everybody else. We're dads, we're husbands, we're grandparents, we're brothers to, we have siblings, we have parents. We're normal people who just ride motorcycles. Some in organizations, some are in clubs, and then some wear lone wolf patch and deserve to get their ass kicked because that is the biggest piece of pile of garbage I've ever seen. Lone wolf, no club. Just not wear a patch on the back of your vest. You get the same message across to people regardless. So, y'all have a great weekend. Stay dry. If you have to build an ark, please do because it's going to rain, well, here all weekend. So, no riding for me until Tuesday. Let them believe that stuff keeps the dreams. um, I can't argue that one. They're evil. I really can't. Yeah, you rub my ass, I might kick your ass. Exactly. So you guys have a great night. You keep that rubber side down, shiny side up, and be the biggest smart asses you can be because we're bikers. Have a good night, y'all. Take care. Love you. Share me out. Like and subscribe. I don't care. Who cares, right? I love you. Peace. Have a good night.